Hi guys. Okay, I'm back with another tiny paper scrap tray project. Now, if you're new to my channel, if you don't know what's going on, I had mentioned in quite a few videos back when this tray was nice and full, how I would love to just one day sit down and use this tray until it's all gone. And quite a few people said yes, they'd like to see that as well. So I have been doing projects. There's a hashtag useittilitsgone, and I've also got a playlist. You'll see those down in the description box for this video. Anyway, I'm just basically doing projects out of this tray until it's all gone. It's been a little bit of a challenge, I must say, because the pieces are so tiny and useless. So, like this. What are you going to do with this? But we have found a few ways to use them up. Now, these little strips, these were from the faux washi. They actually make the tray look a lot fuller than it was looking before, but it's definitely gone down. I see light at the end of the tunnel. Now, you would have seen a few videos ago, I was sick of shuffling through the tray looking for papers, and there were so many little strips in here. So I had pulled all of those out. I'm going to move this aside for now. Now, I had pulled these strips out to get them out of my way while I was shuffling through that tray constantly. And I think they were all just blank strips. Yeah, some have something on one side, but they're mostly just blank strips. Okay, now I had a few things in mind for this, but since I'm working on a journal at the moment, it's a woodwork journal. Look at this beautiful old cover. I love it. Anyway, I thought I would just make a couple of journal cards or pockets or tags, I don't know what yet, for this journal. And I remembered when I made the original kooky paper experiment. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put the link to that video down below as well. Go check it out. Anyway, I made some kooky paper. That was the original experiment. And there were two versions in that video. One with all little random scraps, you know, something like out of that tray. And the second version was only paper strips. And I remember that piece looking like little wooden floorboards. That's what it reminded me of at the time. So I thought, since I've got a little woodwork journal, I might make some little wood panel journal cards. Now, if they don't turn out like the original version, looking like that, then I may just I'll turn them into journal cards or something for some other journal. Who knows? We'll see. We just have to use these up. We don't have to have a project in mind to use the ephemera in. Now, oh gosh, my desk is such a mess. Okay, so you would have seen the faux washi tape. I put paper down and glued the scraps to the paper. But I'm going to do the same method I used when I made the kooky paper, and that was just to glue the little strips all to themselves straight on the silicone mats. Now, I wasn't sure if I had enough little strips here, so these are the strips just out of the little tray that we're using for the challenge, the Use It Till It's Gone challenge. Now, if I don't have enough here, which I have a feeling I may not, never fear. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is the bag of never-ending strips. Look at this. It's ridiculous. Seriously. Look at this. Anyway, I have a feeling I will need some out of this bag because I've only got these teeny tiny pieces in here. I know I need some long strips, so I'm going to, I will be using some, sorry. Oh, I find it so funny. You just thought I had that little paper tray, didn't you? Well, no. That little paper tray is just the little paper tray for teeny tiny little pieces like this. Okay. There's also a box. Well, there's a couple of boxes with pieces a bit bigger and bigger. And then there's one for strips. I know, it's just ridiculous. I don't know. I think I've just got mental issues. But I'm sure plenty of you all have a bag of strips as well. Anyway, I don't know why I find that so funny. Okay, it's midnight here, right, in Sydney, Australia, and maybe I just need to get some sleep. Anyway, it's too hot to sleep. Oh my gosh, it's so hot here. Anyway, I'm going to glue these straight down on the mat. Now, I'm going to just get started with a few longer strips so that I can put these little babies on top. Otherwise, they won't hold together. You have seen me gluing non-stop on this mat, I think, lately. So, I'm just going to get started and then I'll just show you the very beginning. I won't record the whole thing because I don't think there's any point. I always end up skipping through it anyway. Oh my gosh, there's no thick ones in here. They're all thin, are they? I think I've used all the good pieces. Look, there's these never-ending bags of strips and stuff. Okay, let's just get started with a few. And then I will finish gluing all the strips down. And then I'll show you what I do once I glue enough strips down. In case you didn't see the original kooky paper video. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh gosh, they're falling everywhere. Stop. I need to blend, just need to blend that up, don't I? Make some handmade paper. I keep saying it and I haven't made any, and now it's first day of autumn. I think I might have missed the boat again for making paper this year. Okay, let's get started. I don't know why I'm very amused at myself tonight. Everything I go to work on is just this bag of scraps. Okay, this is just some watered down PVA. Sorry, I don't know the mix of water to glue, what the ratio is. I just yeah, I just put glue in and water and shake it about, and if it's runny enough, I just leave it. I don't like it too runny. Now, I think in my original kooky paper where I liked how it kind of looked like little wood panels, I think from memory I had some darker strips in there. I'm not sure. That's so long ago now. But anyway. Of course, I put way too much glue. Actually, I don't think my glue was this runny the first time. Okay, And that's all I was doing. Now I will overlap these so that it's just a little bit thicker. It's not going to just be one single layer. I can't remember how many layers I did. I think I just, yeah, I think I was winging it. It was an experiment. That was the big experiment that day. Okay, I think I want to get some of these bigger pieces down the bottom. Give it a bit more structure, and then I'll cover them with strips. Okay, now I will continue on gluing these little strips down. And when I've got the mat covered, I will come back. Okay, so when you've glued your pieces down, we're just going to kind of seal it with a napkin, because they're all little strips, and we'll put a napkin on top to hold it all together. Now this is just the white part of the napkin. If you use if you use a napkin with a pattern or something for, decoupaging, and you peel off, if you've got a napkin with butterflies, for example, and you peel that layer off, usually there's 1 or 2 layers of white napkin. Now, don't throw those away. We'll keep those and then you use them for something else. In this case, I'll just seal my little wooden panels down. Now this will get all wrinkly and you'll get some little bubbles and creases, and it doesn't matter. In fact, the creases from the napkin gives it a nicer texture. It just feels a lot nicer. Okay. Oops, see, there, I had to go and put a hole in it, didn't I? Okay. If you make a hole, you just put a bit of napkin over it. Don't keep poking at it like me. I always do it. I always put a hole in it. It's also quite warm here, so everything is drying really fast, so it's easy to rip the napkin up. I can't even see where my hole is. I'm too blind. Is it there? It's somewhere there. Okay. Delicate touch. Okay, stop picking at it. See, did I just make another hole? Yes. Okay. Let's do one more repair and then I will stop picking at it. Okay. So now it's quite late here in Sydney, Australia. It's probably 12:30 or something. So it's just past midnight. So I'm going to actually just let this dry overnight. And then in the morning it'll be dry. And I'll show you what we're going to do with it. Okay. These do feel a tiny little bit damp still. It's a couple of hours later, but you know, I'm a bit impatient. So I'm just going to peel them up. Well, we'll see if they're dry enough to peel up. Now, if I didn't mention it before, I think I did. This is a silicone mat, so it shouldn't, the PVA shouldn't stick to it. It is a little bit damp though. So a little bit of paper came off. That's the back. And that's the front. Doesn't it look so great? It does look like a little wooden floorboard. Okay, let's peel this. Oh, this little piece I did off camera after I finished this one last night. Oh, this one's a bit wet as well. Maybe I should leave it. But I really want to pull it up. I love peeling this up. It's so satisfying. I don't know why. Oh yeah. Don't wreck it. I'm not too concerned about the back because I will be covering the back up. Okay, a few little pieces came up. Yeah. Let it dry completely. Don't be impatient like me. Okay, I'll have to tack those few little bits back down. So this was the back. As you can see, if it was a coloured strip, I put that on the underneath because I plan on covering this. And I just put the blank bit of the strip on top. It feels so nice. It's not fully dry, like I said, but still, you can just, it just feels so nice. And look how nice it looks with all these little strips. I just love it. It's like little wooden floorboards to me. I love it. Okay. I also did this with some of the scraps from the scrap tray as well. I tried to use those little offcuts from the faux washi tape that was making my tray look thick. But look! Sorry, not thick. That was making my tray look full. Clearly, I've had no sleep. Look at this. Oh my gosh, it's going to be empty soon. But you know what? Even though it looks so much more empty, like when I just shuffle it, it kind of fluffs it up again. And then it looks a bit full again. But it's definitely going down. I see the end in sight. You know, and I haven't got to making any snippet rolls yet, or sewn little snippety cluster thingies, which, you know, I've been very tempted because that's my go-to for tiny little scraps like this. But I've deliberately held off on doing those because I feel it's a bit of a cop-out, because I make those anyway. So I've held off on making those little sewn snippety clusters, but I mean, I will do it because it's the best way to use up teeny tiny scraps. But I'll hold off as long as I can. I've got a couple of other little projects in mind before I do that. But look at that. I love it. Anyway, okay, so this little scrappy dappy one, this is for a different project. So I'm going to toss that aside. You'll see that soon. And these I'm going to just let dry a little bit more before I chop them. And so that the video doesn't get too long, I might leave it until the next video to make some ephemera out of these. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.